It's time to go back to 2009, and that was the year of the Cats in 2009. One of the great grand finals. St Kilda were flying, Geelong were flying, and let's go back to the famous toe poke. 67 apiece, 23 minutes in. Ablett's there, the toe poke goes in from Matty Scarlett, launches it in. Paul Chapman is a Norm Smith medalist in this. Huge goal is kicked by Chappie, front and square. Barco off to Chapman, and that was a sealer in this game. Amazing, yeah. Chappie goes on and wins it. Look at the celebrations in the coach's box. They had a great rivalry, came through that period, the Saints and the Cats.
They did. It was just an awesome team and an awesome result, but it went back to round 14, Llordo, when these two teams met in the home and away season. Maybe one of the best home and away games we've ever seen. Round 14 it was at Marvel. It was a bit of a shootout, you can see there, and then Michael Gardner took that big contested mark with a minute or just under a minute 30 to go and won the game for the Saints, seeing Ross Lyon there. But what a game it was. We all remember it, or I certainly do. It was one of the best home and away games we've seen. Unfortunately, St Kilda weren't able to repeat that on grand final day.
That was probably the year, Llordo, that the Saints were most unlucky. I know that may sound strange given they made a drawn grand final the next year, but that was an epic period, wasn't it? Now, you always like to bring the mark of the year and goal of the year. Have you got another one of yourself here?
I'm actually relieved that it's not me, because I've been in it so often. But 2009, the Birdman, how good was he? Brett Burton, the Adelaide Crows, and he just soared over the pack. Dwayne Russell, mark of the century, Dwayno's called it, but ripper mark over the top of some Blues players there. So Brett Burton, he did that year after year, and goal of the year. This is one of the great goals that you'll ever see. Cyril Rioli, he was in his absolutely prime. I know he was only a young man in 2009, but watch him, Bashahuli, a young Bashahuli playing for the Bombers, but watch some of this work from Rioli. So sad that he retired when he did, because I would have loved to have seen it for a bit longer. But absolute masterclass there from Cyril Rioli.
Yeah, nice work, Llordo. We saw the Cats dominating, and Gary Ablett just had a dominant season. 30 votes in the Brownlow medal, and he won by 8. Chris Judd came second with 22. Averaged 33 disposals a game. That's the norm these days for midfielders, but I thought he broke the mould back then. So midfielders are getting average on 24, 25, 26, but he was just elite. So he took himself from a half-forward flanker who couldn't run out a game to one of the most elite midfielders in the competition through work rate, and he was so hard to tag, and you probably had a good couple of battles with him.
A couple of nightmares with him, no doubt about that, Brownie. There was some big finals moments in this year, none bigger than this one, semi-final action, and it was Jack Anthony who got the free kick there on Ben Rutten. Now, that is a free kick every day of the week now. I mean, the umpires just blow their whistle, but at the time and in this year, that was somewhat controversial, and he went back. He was always a beautiful set shot for goal.
Kicked 50 goals that year.
Yeah, and just a nice striker. So late in the game, everyone's dream, as we've already spoken about this morning, put them through to a prelim final.
It's also the first game for Ben Cousins at his new club, Richmond. Having set out the 2008 season, it was a round 1 return for him, and he ended up not getting through the game with a hamstring. Massive news at the time, given that Richmond was the only club left with a pick in that year's pre-season draft, and they used it on him, and it was either
there for training.
The crowd, they had weeks of that sort of reception for him. Look, he pinged the hamstring in this very first game, came back, and actually, Brownie had a pretty good career for Richmond, given what he was going through, that we were in on at the time, but probably not to the extent that he's since spoken about.
His second season was quite solid, so he had a few injury concerns in that first one, but very good in the second one.
And I've got something a little bit different that you might like, Brownie. If you go back and remember the Satanta and Cloak incident, where I think this was a practice game, and he gives him the old kick up the old lemon and sauce there. A little left jab, right hook, and then just goes, hang on, not finished yet. Let's finish with this one.
See you, mates.
And something a little bit bizarre as well. Chris Judd actually got 3 weeks for a little pressure gauge tactic that he used during a game. Let's have a quick look at this one. No, yes, here we go. Juddy, hang on.
And it cost Fevy's career, didn't it?
Little pressure point.
It did.
Bang, straight in the back of the ear. What's he doing there?
Brad?
He did some strange things at times.
He's a strange human being, Judd. He always thought it was a bit above the law, to be honest.
And we had some amazing moments where there was plenty of kicks after the siren. So let's take a look at the good before we see the bad. So some good moments. I just wonder, Brandy, do you play in this game where Melbourne was said to have been rumoured to be tanking around that time?
I was playing full forward in the last quarter, and the big ruck when Paul Johnson was standing me. I thought that was strange.
Jordan McMahon.
Yeah, Geordie McMahon kicked that after the siren, and they win by 4 points. So that was one of those shots after the siren. There's this one, Jimmy Bartell. Who would forget that? So scores a level. Jimmy just needed to score. He went back and he scored the point. So that was another one in the 2009 season. This last one, not many remember this, but the Bombers weren't having a great run of it through this period, and Daniel Bradshaw kicked one through that period as well in 2009. Some of the ones that didn't go too well, Brad Johnson, he was part of some famous ones, Brad Johnson. This one he didn't throw the mouthguard, Damo, but missed this one.
Come on, John.
Well, he missed a couple for the all-time great that he was. He missed a couple after the siren.
That's a sitter, Jono.
Brownie missed one on my 250th after the siren to give the Bulldogs the win. He missed it, and the Kangas got the victory.
Me?
No, Jono.
All right.
And then this one, Damo, would they have been, my memory is, had they not lost at this point? I know it's round 20. Did they go 19-0 or not? But my memory serves me that this may have been their first loss. I'll have to check. But after the siren, Roo leaves. A massive upset. Big win there for the Bombers. Yeah, it was. Yeah, huge win for the Bombers that night.
Always good, Llordo's Deep Dive, and a great edition 2009.